doing a live test of the OBS studios. This is, where'd it go? Streamlabs OBS. And right now there's a commercial playing on Twitch. And I'll just mumble on until that's done. Long commercial. Global games. There we are. All right, so let me send a message and see if this turns up in the chat. Because there should be the chat playing above here. Chat box, background. And what is the source? Shutdown source when not visible. Visual settings. Clean, boxed. So I see the chat is coming up on Polo Charts. And let me pull up YouTube to see what what's going on with that. I'm going over some Streamlabs OBS tutorials, trying to learn how to do this. I'm going over some no sound. Thank you for the heads up there, XRP for Africa. I got the sound going, but I'm not seeing the chat coming up on the screen. So I see the recent follower is stuck on BRNSNB, and that should update dynamically when there's a new follower. And if there's a new subscriber on YouTube, it should have an alert that pops up on the screen and makes some fanfare for it. But I'm not seeing the chat thing come up properly. So if I bring up the chat box settings, visual settings, font settings, chatter, hide comments, hide common chat bots, hide command starting with an exclamation point, refresh cache of current page. I'm glad the sound is working, but I'm not finding that the other elements of the this Streamlabs OBS. I'm following some tutorials on YouTube and trying to figure it out. I see the significant trades thing is working. See my mouse? There's probably a delay here. Well, something came up over there. So you can see my mouse, and over to the side there is the significant trades log that's showing us in red are the number of sales, and you can see OKX and BitMEX, where we're seeing some short positions going on and some long positions before that. Down at the bottom there's the tip jar, and then there are a couple elements that are not showing up on the screen, such as the stream boss. There, it came up here now. And then it fades away. All right, so I see your chart is showing. So something's coming up with that now. The stream boss was showing, oh, and your fade away. Okay, and this is a problem I'm having with that stream boss. It fades away as well. Chat box. Show coin holder badge. Enable. Stream it. Okay, so there's support the channel with cryptocurrency tips. Streamlabs / Polo Charts TV. And we'll see how long that stays online there. And then it fades away. Shut down source when not visible. So I clearly need to do some more studying on how this is supposed to work. I can see that'll show up in a second. Now how long does that stay there before it fades away? There it goes, it faded away. It should not fade away. Visual settings, box, show moderator, show turbo badges, show twitched prime, show top, enable better. I can see the messages from me on your screen. Yeah, there's a delay. And it shows up there, but then it fades away from the screen, and it shouldn't. It should stay there, and then they should accumulate as more comments come up. And damned if I know what setting. Always show messages. Okay. So that helped out. I just found the setting way down at the bottom. I had to scroll way down to get it. So thanks for helping. XRP for Africa. Must be, what time is it over there, XRP for Africa? It is 6:17 in the morning here. So if I do a stream chat and say hello, that goes over onto Polo Charts TV. I see it on to Twitch when I've commented. Oh, there it is. It did come up on the main chat on the screen. Very good. So there are a few things setting up now. Let me go to the stream boss and get that set up. Source, visual settings, scroll to the bottom. It's not showing an option to keep it going. So it shows up for a second, then it fades away as well. Current boss name, source. Okay, so it's showing up on the screen. And seems, no, and then it faded away. 13:17. So it's 1 in the afternoon over there and 6 in the morning here. I love the internet. It's amazing how this stuff goes across the world all at the same time. So I don't understand why the stream boss settings do not stay. Widget editor, test widgets. Follow. Okay, so there's the following widget and the subscribe widget test. And you can see that the subscriber thing fell and the follower thing fell into the tip jar. And then the Polo Charts TV thing disappears. I mean, the boss fighting thing. Don't understand. Done. And the recent follower, load name, most recent follower. Outline. I don't know if that'll change when there's a new follower pops in and follows. I'll have to keep paying attention. I see there's one viewer over on Twitch, and YouTube is showing 4 messages, 6 watching now. I don't expect people to be watching at 6 in the morning or whatever time it is in your part of the world. But I do see parts of it are working now. Yeah, the jar is visible, and I saw that working and moving. But the stream boss thing is not showing up, and that is a contest where if people are subscribing or taking an action like that, it takes points away from the stream boss. And as that gets down lower, then a new person becomes the stream boss. And I don't understand why it's not just continuing to show up. Widget editor, goal, manage battle, fade time. Set to 0 to always appear on screen. Oy, oy, oy. Done. So there we go. And I can expand it. It doesn't show the points though. So I'll have to keep it small this way. Maybe there's a different layout that works better. I can also see if this, yeah, there we go. Width 300, height 100. Now we're getting somewhere. I'll make the height 80. So it fits in with that bar. It doesn't show the numbers here now. Manage battle, visual settings, flash transparent, font roboto. Source is okay. Manage battle. Theme future. Theme default. There we go. Now we're even getting somewhere better. I can fill this out so it fits in there. Alright, so now the stream boss thing is fitting, done. Good, so if we get subscribers now, that will knock down the stream boss's hit points, basically. And if people give a tip, it also knocks down the hit points. And I'll have to just wait until an actual tip comes in to see how that works. Awesome. And so of course there's links below the stream if you're interested in checking that out and adding a tip to support the stream. A couple of viewers now over on, so this is a AMA, ask me anything, or ask for any different chart to be reviewed and I'll check it out. What I want to do right now is go over to Binance. Let's see what Ravencoin is doing. It did a huge jump up. 4:30 yesterday. Okay, this is the 1 minute bars, so let's go back out to the 1 week. So we're looking at the 1 hour bars. And Ravencoin was flatline here. Let me see if I can find it on a different exchange. RV Ravencoin on Bittrex. Oh, Raven. So if I go back to a 3-month view, Ravencoin was only just recently listed there as well, back in October. Where else was it listed? Hit BTC. That's RTV. RVN. So here's still not very long. And I saw people doing videos about how to mine Ravencoin months ago. So I don't know why it's only just been listed on these exchanges now. But at any rate, it got down to a 220 Satoshi level. So if you were mining that with your computer, it's really turned up pretty well now. From 220 to 460, that's more than 100%. Just about 100% rise in prices. Fantastic. Binance. Raven BNB. I've never paid attention to the Binance coin. BNB. Let's go check out BNB versus Bitcoin. BNB BTC. Pretty top formation-ish. And so it's going opposite to Bitcoin. As Bitcoin's coming down, it's actually going up in value, but it's looking pretty top formation-ish in this. So if it breaks down below there, it's probably going down. If it breaks above this triangle, the price is probably going up. Here's another descending wedge triangle. And this is a head and shoulders top formation. So we have the one shoulder here. Then we have the head here with a 1, 2, 3 top formation. Then we have the right shoulder. So a breakdown below this, we would certainly be looking for it to be coming down to these levels on the chart. So it's at 0014. We would expect it to go down to 00065 if it broke down below there. Maybe 0009. What's my take on the XRP chart? I will go to Poloniex. Just bring up XEM so it's close to where I'm wanting to go in the chart. And XRP. I'm thinking it's beginning an uptrend myself. But I have the simple trading plan where I look for a market that's in a long downtrend. And I don't care if it's silver and gold, or if it's a Ripple, or natural gas, or oil, or whatever it is. I'm looking for that long trend, first of all. And I'm looking for the trend reversal pattern, the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation at the end of the trend, whether it be a top formation or a bottom formation. So for my own part, I'm trading the 12-hour bars, and when the moving averages cross over, the downtrend line is broken, and it's a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation breakout, as we saw here, then that's a buy signal. We could also wait for this bottom formation top here to be the buy signal. But at any rate, I don't get out now until these moving averages cross over again. So for my own part, this is a green trade, like it's a green entry. This is a green signal, which means it's okay to enter. And then I don't get a cold fish on this market, a blue signal, until these moving averages cross over here. So for me, it's still a hold, but I don't know what it's going to be doing next. When I zoom into the 1 month view, so I'm looking at the 4-hour bars, now these moving averages are almost crossing over. So for me, that is an early warning. Well, they crossed over here to say get out at the end of this top formation right here. And now they look like they're almost crossing over again on the 4-hour bars, which would be potential to re-enter. And part of that is because I'm seeing a internal 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here. So if we are looking, I'm going to clear up this chart. If we are looking at a long-term uptrend on this, go to the 1 year view. Then we'll likely see something like this where the prices have surged up, they come back, they make this internal 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and then they take off. So we can see here, if I would change to a 12-hour bar, does it leave me on the same spot in the chart? No, it kicks me back. So here we see the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. And that's too bad it kicked me back because I've lost perspective as where I was. Here we are. So prices surged up, they came back, they made an internal 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here, 1, 2, 3 bottom, and then they took off. We see we're looking at the 12-hour bars, and the moving averages crossed over here out of the bottom formation earlier. It came up and moved back, made a big surge and pulled all the way back, but the moving averages didn't cross over, so it wasn't an exit signal for me. It's just be patient, wait for the market, and then I'm in the market for the rest of the uptrend. Then when the moving averages do cross over, that's my exit point. So it requires a lot of patience and letting the market do some really big moves before I finally decide to get out. Because I'm really trying to be in there for the long trend. And so if we're seeing the beginning of an uptrend here, then this is the support and resistance line that, should it cross that now, that would be my exit point probably, because the moving averages would cross over at the same time. So my trading system is pretty simple and very patient. It gives the market lots of room to move. And I trade with smaller positions, and then I leave the stop loss back further as the trade moves along. So at the beginning of the trade, my stop loss is pretty close. But as the profit moves, gets more profitable, I don't move my stop loss up very close to the market. I leave the market have lots of room. And now I may even just leave my stop loss below these levels and let the market have its time swinging around in these ranges, because I want to be in there for the longer term. I don't want to jump in and out, in and out, in and out. I really want to be positioning for a longer term move in this cryptocurrency market at this time. So I'm glad I've fixed a few things in the stream here. That's handy. And we do have a recent follower, a PAJAK69. I appreciate you following so that I can check that out. I don't know if you're on YouTube or on Twitch. And I'll have to find out if the streaming software lets me check that out. But I appreciate your following so that I can see that the recent follower thing does indeed update. That's fantastic. Stream boss. And I've only just set up the tipping a couple days ago. There are 2 different ways to tip. One is with fiat currency and PayPal, and the other is to tip with Bitcoin or different cryptocurrencies through Coinbase. And those are... No problem. I'm happy to chat about my system, and it's a different trading methodology than I see many others doing. I see many others doing things like the MACD and the RSI, and I've studied these. I've taken courses, I've read books, I've watched tutorial videos, the whole gambit, just so that I could understand really what they're trying to show. And so for these, we're trying to look for something that's in a very oversold or overbought territory. Then you know it's probably going to retrace a little bit. Or we're looking for divergences in the chart pattern. So let me change the size of this and the size of this, then the size of this. So if we're looking at the chart here, we're seeing a little bit lower lows, but in the RSI, we're seeing a divergence here. And those kind of divergences at the same time as I'm not as familiar with using these, but a lot of people use these to see, is it in a big oversold or a big overbought area? Are these moving averages crossing over in the MACD indicator? We're going to a more positive view here, and I don't know the terminology for each of these histogram bars and these double moving averages here in the MACD indicator. And then I've also seen a lot of people using Bollinger Bands. And they're looking to see how narrow these bands are. So when they're getting really narrow, it's showing that there's going to be some big move coming up, the more narrow they are, from what I understand. So all of these indicators each have their own way to be able to determine what the markets might be doing next. And I really try to avoid using all of these. For me, they are just a bunch of clutter on the screen, because when I see people using all these indicators, then I see the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation in there, and that's, well, you didn't really need all those indicators. The chart was already showing you a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, the moving average crossover, break of the downtrend line, and then it takes patience. So my trading method is a lot more simple. And one of the things that I'm doing, I'm not sure, I'll just bring this up. I'm trying to determine when the actual turnaround of the bull market is starting in the cryptocurrencies. And of course, we know that, say I go into Ripple and I go to the 1-year view and draw back, we can see that there was a bull market here from March to July of 2017, then again December to January 2017-18, and a little bull market here in April, May of 2018, but overall a big downtrend. And then we just saw this turnaround where the market has taken off here in October of 2018. So there are these different bull markets starting off and if I pull up something like BitShares, and we're looking at approximately the same time frame, here through March, April, May, June, July of 2017, we saw a big bull run. Then December, January of 2017-18, we saw a bull run. Then April, May, we saw a little bull run, but overall a big downtrend through 2018, until we're coming to a little bottom formation. And each time that all these markets had these bull runs, they came to a bottom formation. They made a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. There was a little bottom formation here. And now we have a much bigger established bottom formation shaping up that's been from August 13th, September 11th low, or the 12th, and then October 11th low. So for these 2 full months, from all the way through August, all the way through September until now, all of these markets have making a bottom formation. And so I am anticipating that we are going to see another bull run in these markets after what we saw here in 2017. We can see that it was a long downtrend, then it made a bottom formation, and then things took off like crazy. It's important also to see the difference between Bitcoin and the altcoins here in 2017. As Bitcoin was going up, the altcoins were all being squished down. Then there became a moment where Bitcoin was going up and all the alts were going up with it. Then there was another moment right here where all the alts were coming down with Bitcoin. You can see that Bitcoin's topping, so were the alts. All the alts were coming down with Bitcoin, so they were matching. Then on this day right here, they started to unmatch, where Bitcoin started to go up and the alts continued to go down. So there was an opposite move in the markets. And this change from alts being opposite to Bitcoin, alts following Bitcoin, alts being opposite to Bitcoin, is an important key as to when the alts are going to be pumping again. You see how they were still going down as Bitcoin was rising, still going down, still going down. Then they're bottoming out here in November as Bitcoin's rising. They're bottoming out. And then it turned around just after Bitcoin topped. And December the 17th, December the 16th, this is right after the futures trading opened up. Then all the big traders started shorting the daylights out of this because they knew it was a parabolic top, a blow-off top. Then here, all of the alts sprang up along with Bitcoin showing a bit of strength. All the alts just exploded out of these bottoms because of the amount of pressure it seemed that they were pushed down for so long. Now here you see that the alts are matching Bitcoin. They're surging with Bitcoin, they're dropping with Bitcoin. They're dropping against Bitcoin. And here, this was frustrating because they were matching Bitcoin. Bitcoin was going down and the alts were going down. Then Bitcoin was going up and the alts were going down. Then Bitcoin was going up and it was just down, down, down for the alts. Overall, they started to match Bitcoin again here. Matching Bitcoin. So they're going down with Bitcoin, up with Bitcoin. As Bitcoin surges, so do they. As Bitcoin drops, so do they. And that's where we are now, where they are sort of matching Bitcoin. As Bitcoin surges a bit, so do the alts. So one thing that I noticed after studying all this and trying to determine when is the next bull market starting, I wanted to get familiar with how these markets looked at the turnaround point. What exactly were they doing on these turnaround points before they went up? And when did they give me the exit signal for my trading plan, where I'm on the 12-hour bars? When did they give me the exit signal? How much money could I have made if I had just followed my plan at the moving average crossover, 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, downtrend line break, and then the 1, 2, 3 top formation, and get out on the other side of the top when the moving averages cross over. So I want to stay in long enough that I'm going to not get kicked out at something like this and then miss out on the next big wave. So you have to let it retrace. You've got to stay in after these retracements until that moving average crosses over. So we're looking at the 1-day bars here. It's not quite what I trade, but you can see still it works quite well. You'd make a good profit off of that on all of these. So when the 1-day moving average crosses over and it crosses over again, that's all you have to do. It's very simple. And it really works on these trending markets. Doesn't work like anything on a choppy market. So what I wanted to do was understand exactly when these markets were topping and when they were making those formations. I'm having trouble with this here. There we go. So what I did is I went over all of the markets from March to July of 2017, from December and January 2017-18, April, May of 2018, and I studied my simple trading plan with hypothetical results. So this will help me identify the patterns and recognize the beginning and the end of the next bull market in cryptocurrencies. So you can go to intro-to-cryptos.ca, and I'm going to be giving out more explanations on that. Where'd that come up? Okay, over here. And I will be releasing my book soon. The Simple Trading Plan book. It is not just the simple trading plan, but it actually includes the philosophy of getting wealthy with cryptocurrencies. So it teaches a lot about how to think about money as well, because many people who are trading with the negative emotions with money, and you never can trade well when you're holding negative emotions. They just screw things up. So I talk about how I came from a very negative relationship with money and learned several new things about money that changed the way I was thinking and feeling about money. And then all of a sudden I started having more success. And with the cryptocurrencies, I was able to practice those successful methods of approaching money in little micro bits. You know, I could start off with just $15 worth of Bitcoin, and I started trading my way up from there. So at any rate, I did this study. And we can see here, it doesn't fit on the screen very well. That's better. We can see here the time zone. We had the altcoin bull market in March to July of 2017, and they were matching Bitcoin. As Bitcoin was going up, so were the alts. Then we had an altcoin bear market. As prices of Bitcoin were going up, all the alts were being squished down, all the way down, down, down through September, October. And then in November of 2017, they started making this bottom formation. And December, after Bitcoin topped, then the alts popped up big time. And that was another altcoin bull market, but it only lasted for not even fully 2 months. Then there was the altcoin bear market, a little bit of a bull market through April, May of 2018, and then the rest of the altcoin bear market that we are just hopefully finishing up on now. So by doing these studies, I started going through and seeing where these markets made their entries and exits and how much profit I would have made. So Digibyte was 4,200% profit. And you can't see the market. Let me see if I can't pull this over. It's lined up. This way I can. There we go. So you can see which markets I'm talking about here. And I went through the bull market of March to July 2017 and the bull market of December, January, and the bull market of April, May. But you can see in April and May, there wasn't as much profit to make all the way down here. And some of them were losses, 1.6%, 2%. But some of them were pretty good, 91% for GNT and 74% through December, January. Those are huge. And if you had followed just this simple plan all the way along, there's enormous profits through each one of these bull waves, but then there's nothing to do during the bear waves because most of the cryptos you can't go short on. And so this is a biased trading system that only works in specific market types. And that's what I'm watching for here now, is to see exactly when that next market type is coming up. And I'm going to finish this stream here soon. I'm just going to bring up this detail to explain what I'm doing in my streams. I am collecting up data on where all these markets are according to the simple trading plan. So a green bar means it's a buy signal. It can go from a green bar and turn into a blue bar, which means it's gone into being a cold fish. The moving averages crossed over properly, then they crossed over and said get out. So this would have been a closed trade. And then the orange bars are something that's I call a near fail. It's almost down to new lows and creating a new bottom formation. The ones that are red have actually failed and they are down to creating a new bottom formation and they're nowhere near giving a trading signal. So Bitcoin is yellow, which is an alert, which could be close to be taking off and breaking higher from these bottom formations. So then I've gone through and I've coded each of these markets on Poloniex, including white, which is a neutral market that's not close to being a fail. It's not being a near fail. It's not almost a buy signal like an alert. It's just sort of floating in the middle. So there's not much going on with it. No trading opportunity for my system. They're just floating. So some of them are turning from alerts to neutral to an alert to neutral. And I'm charting that over day by day. Where's my chart? So that I'm showing the total positive markets, the total negative markets and the total neutral markets. Of course, when the bull actually kicks in, then all of these markets are going to turn to positive and very few will be negative. And we can see that happening through all of these markets in the historical study. So if I just pull up one randomly and go to Ethereum, we can see that it was February 25th to July 5th. So this one took off earlier than most everything else. Most everything else took off 2 weeks later in the middle of March. So if I go to game credits and bring this up, there we are, March 21st to July 2nd for this market. That's when the buy signal happened, and this is when the exit signal happened. And of course, as you know, my exit signal is always after the top formation, and so there are more profitable places to get out. You could have made greater profit than what I'm showing here. Library credits, I don't know how that'll do this time, but you can see March 20th to July 8th. It's very, very much the same for all of the coins. Lisk, if we go and bring this up, it's March 17th to July 7th. So again and again and again, we can see that the bull market started on a very specific day. March 7th to May 24th, not quite the same on this one. So there's some variation, but overall, the average is, there's March 19th to July 6th on Saya coin. And as I went through and studied this, so if we go to Strat, which made a 3,000% gain, March 19th to July 1st. The bull markets all start out at about the same time. It is amazing. If I go back to the current chart, drag this over so that we can see the prices over there. What I want to do now is zoom into the 1 month view and pull this back a little bit. The things I'm looking at now for marking out the beginning of this bull market are these important bottoms here. August 13th, September the 12th or thereabouts, and then October the 11th. These were 3 times that all of the cryptos hit some important bottoms. So here again, if I go to Civic Coin, there's the August 13th, September the 12th or the 11th, and then the October 11th move. Some of them have at higher lows, which is really key for me to be thinking that this is the market turnaround. So here again, the same dates, August 13th, September 11th, October 11th, over and over and over and over in all these markets. So we can go to Ethereum and we see there's the September the 12th. Here's our August the 13th, a little bit different, and then our October the 11th. And by comparing all of these days, the 13th of August, the 12th or 11th of September, and then the day in October, it's establishing that all of the alts are moving together and they're all hitting these formations at the same time. So what I'm anticipating and watching for with this channel is for the day when all of these markets turn green, because it'll happen. They're either all going to turn green or they're all going to turn red. So I don't want it to turn red, but I want to know if and when it is turning red. So this is my study. Day after day after day after day, I come in here and I chart this stuff out. So today at 5 p.m., which is 10 hours from now, it's coming up to 7 a.m. So 10 hours from now, I'm going to do a live stream. And yesterday I took $200 worth of Bitcoin and I invested $20 each into 10 different markets. And I'm using the simple trading plan for which markets I selected. And then I also used the simple trading plan for which markets I selected. But inside this book, I also have a couple other trading plans that are really good for cryptocurrencies. And I'll explain those today in the 5 o'clock stream. And I call it the popcorn trading strategy. So it is just a matter of, I think of it as acting like a spider, where a spider will create a web and then it sits back and waits. And so this is what I'm doing with these trades is I'm doing 2 things. I'm looking to buy in on that bottom formation simple trading plan criteria. But I've also laid out sell orders at layers way above the market with the money that I purchased, with the coins that I purchased. And I'm waiting for what I call popcorn moves, and I'm expecting more of them. So if I go back to Factum, did it have a popcorn move in its past? Well, certainly it had them to the downside. Zoom, zoom, zoom back out, zoom out. Let's go to the 1 year view, zoom out. And it did have some popcorn moves, but not for quite a while. Here in 2016, it had a popcorn move where it just popped right up and then it faded all the way back. And often these popcorn moves, if we say go to Civic Coin and zoom in, these popcorn moves happen fast and you can't react to them. They're already done by the time you realize that they're happening. And a lot of people get screwed in these popcorn moves. They see these taking off, they go, this is it, it's going to the moon. And they buy in, and they just get so excited and they're buying in. Oh my God, look at it go. And then, bam, down she goes. And it's very demoralizing to have jumped in on a popcorn move at the wrong time. So I'm anticipating these popcorn moves coming into this market. We can see some pre-pump candles already occurring, and I expect there's going to be some very big excitement. It's going to go crazy only to come all the way back down. So I'll demonstrate this evening on how I've set that up and why it works and which markets I've done this setup in. And that'll be today at 5 o'clock. And I just took $200 worth of Bitcoin because most people following and watching these kind of streams might have $200 to put in. And you would be able to start working on how you think and feel about money over a long-term period and start working on your percentage gains in these markets rather than your dollar gains. If you focus on your percentage gains, then the dollars take care of themselves. So if you're following and you're watching along right now, give me a wave, give me a hello in the chat. And if you're on Twitch, I will follow you. I'll add you as a friend. I'll check to see if you have a channel going on and I'll follow your channel. And same on YouTube. If I see that you have followed here, Pajak 6669. When Pajak 6669 followed, the Polo Charts TV boss indicator here got nicked down. So each person who subscribes knocks this Polo Charts leaderboard down. And when it gets knocked down to 0, then somebody else takes over as the next boss. Let's go to BitMEX. There's our 1, 2, 3 formation in Bitcoin. Kind of. It's actually more accurate to say it's a 1, 2, 3 in this range. And it's also a 1, 2, 3 in this range too, when you zoom in. So if I go to the 1 week view, there's our 1, 2, 3 shaping up. There's our lowest price from the downtrend. It came up and came back down. It has not retested and broken to a new low. So this is our potential number 3 formation right here. So if prices break above these levels and the moving averages cross over, then it has broken the downtrend line. It's broken above the number 2 point roughly, which is laying at important support and resistance levels. That to me would indicate a really exciting opportunity. And the same thing goes to the downside too, where if it breaks down below these levels, that's a really exciting opportunity for the bears to go short. Let's zoom into the 1 minute bar and see what's going on. Sometimes I'll watch these and I'm looking to see how does the hello from High River, Alberta. And Triangle, I see you're back again. Brian G, thanks again for tuning in. So I appreciate you guys being here for sure. And XRP for Africa, if you've got a question, spit it out and I'll be happy to answer it. One thing I'm keenly watching right now is the divergence between these two different trading exchanges, BitMEX and Bitfinex. So BitMEX is the candles, Bitfinex is the blue in the background. And yesterday I was watching it right here going, isn't that odd that Bittrex, or BitMEX rather, is holding this bottom, but Bitfinex has failed and it's gone down to new lows. There's a divergence between the markets. Right after I said that, down she went. BitMEX took a dive and matched what Bitfinex was doing. So which is the leader, Bitfinex or BitMEX? Which is the one that leads the prices and moves first, and the other one follows along? This is something I want to see if this makes a difference in my trading, so that I get an early indicator of what prices are doing. If one of them is going, and there we're diverging again, where BitMEX is showing strength and Bitfinex is showing weakness. Love to see that. And it's just over, I don't know, a half an hour or so of time. Yeah, about a half an hour worth of time. And High River, Alberta, there, Don. I'm from Winnipeg. So it was a beautiful day yesterday. I think it's the last nice day we'll have before winter comes and freezes us solid. You probably get more winter than we do here in Winterpeg. So I think I'll sign off for now. And I'm looking forward to the stream this afternoon, where I'll be going through all of those coins that I purchased, and I'll be going over the price charts. I'll show you the dollar value that I purchased in at, like the coin value, and I'll show you how I'm layering out the popcorn trading strategy on that as well. Then, of course, we'll watch that over time, over the weeks and months to come. I'll watch to see if these markets do the popcorn move, what kind of money I make out of it, and what am I going to do with that money afterwards. Sometimes I reinvest and I buy more of that coin. Sometimes I diversify and I take those profits and I move it into a different coin, so that I'm layered out into all the markets. Because, again, when we see these markets go, they all go. They all go at the same time. So or very close. So if mine has done a popcorn move and then comes back, that gives me some additional money that I can diversify into a different coin. Very cool. I appreciate you guys being here. This will get more and more sophisticated and more profitable as time goes along. I'll get better at my stream. And of course, we'll see the actual bull market start, and that'll be a lot more fun. So thanks for tuning in. And how do I get that overlay in the charts? The overlay, what I've done is this little symbol here to compare or add a symbol, and so I can say XRP and grab Poloniex Ripple, and we see it's been overlaid there. And I believe that I can tune it then afterwards. Yeah, so I can change it from a line into a histogram or into an area chart. Minimum tick default. There's lots of different styles that you can do here. Now to get rid of that, here, close this off. So you can see with the, I've chosen an area chart. I could do hollow candles for the other exchange. I could do just regular candles. I could do line for the other exchange, but I've chosen to do the area so it really stands out to me. And of course, I think you can switch them around so that one is higher than the other. I've also been experimenting with the 200-day exponential moving average. I see a lot of traders using that, so I've been checking that out too. So hopefully that helps. But if, the limit is that I'm using Coinigy charts or Coinigy charts, and I don't know how that works on TradingView. It's probably similar. can we mirror my trades? I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it. You can watch what I'm doing, you can study my philosophy, but I really recommend that you do your own research on this. My trading system is so simple that you don't need to follow along with me. There's the break of the downtrend line, the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation breakout, and the exponential moving average crossover. And then you want to tune it to your own personality, because this has been tuned by me since I started studying it in 1997, and put a lot of different things into it that I talk about in the book that sometimes I don't have, I just don't go over in the videos. Oh, look at that. But I talk about them more in the book to try to give all the detail. And that book will be coming out soon, along with a course to go along with it. So what I'm going to be doing is offering this for pre-sale on Amazon, and I'll be promoting that pretty soon. I'm working on it right now, actually. And that book, I've literally been writing it for 3 years now, rewriting it, expanding it, rewriting it. Sometimes I'll do a video that I think has got a good tutorial in it that explains something in a way that I haven't done before. Somebody asks the question, draws out the answer, and I'll take that answer and I'll get the transcript from the YouTube video, and then I edit that and I add it into the book. So the book has been evolving for 3 years as I've been doing these videos on YouTube and expanding it out based on my own trading system and based on my own life experience as I changed from having a really negative view and attitude about money to correcting that and doing far better with money, which is fantastic. So I don't recommend that you mirror my trades, but I do recommend that you read the book, because there's a lot of depth in that I probably don't go over in the videos the same way as I do in the book, where I've structured it, I've rewritten it, I've reorganized things, put them into the order that I wish I would have learned all this stuff in that order instead of the random order I did, because it was just trial and error, fail my way forward. And finally I started to get the whole picture and do things in the right order. Then it started to make a difference. So I don't recommend that you mirror anybody's trades. You want to have your own confidence. You want to see this stuff work so that you have the confidence to sit on a trade like STR. So this is where I bought in on this moving average crossover. And as it's coming all the way back here, I did not sweat. That's okay. Didn't bother me at all. It didn't come back and touch my stop loss. I was still into this market, and then it's rebounded back up. And I was able to do that because I've got confidence in these patterns. I see this pattern, I think, okay, this is just normal markets retesting highs and lows, and I'm not getting shook out of it. But if you were to be following me without that confidence, then you would have been jumping in and out, and you'd probably miss the big long wave because you got out, you panicked as prices were just doing a normal retest of the number 2 point. Here's our 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and it just came back and did a normal retest of that number 2 point. This is normal, that kind of range of movement, especially in the cryptocurrencies. They really jump up and jump down, jump up and jump down. And if we are at the real beginning of this bull trend, we're going to see a lot of that on the way up. So that's a longer answer about mirroring my trades. And maybe I'll put that into the book later. So that's it for now. I'm going to go and make a fresh pot of coffee, and I've got yoga coming up soon. I've got a hot yoga class. I love to do the hot yoga, drink lots of water, sweat like crazy, and then I come back, I'm completely relaxed and I can really work on things. So thanks for tuning in again, guys, and helping me get this set up, especially XRP from Africa. You helped me with some important things at the beginning as I'm learning how to use this Streamlabs OBS. Cheers, and thanks again.